Sonic Analytics. It's been a company I set up about 8 years ago in the Philippines primarily. So I just moved here to Ocala in January, and I'm looking to expand what I do here in North Central Florida. So, so far I've done a lot of training. And analytics basically is training to give people ability to work with information. So every business has lots of data. And the ability to use that data to make good decisions is called analytics, basically. And so what that means is people need to figure out how to really optimize the data in their business to make sure decision makers are getting information they can use to make good choices. So I've been doing that for quite a while. Before I set up my own company, I worked for about 15 years with Wells Fargo. That's where I learned analytics, working in the corporate office in San Francisco. And so I took that experience and kind of turned it into my own training and consulting business. So I do really three things. I train people. I also do teaching on the side. And then I also help build communities and networks of people that want to talk about data and talk about how to use analytics and also data science, which is like analytics on steroids. And what we do is try to figure out how to give organizations the ability to optimize their data. This is my favorite thing to do. I'm at that spot in life where I'm good at something and I love it. So every day I actually work, it's fun for me. So I'm going around and doing training on analytics is something that really, it's what I thrive on. And just to kind of help everyone understand a little bit about what is analytics. Right now we're seeing a wave of big data take over everything we do. You think about all the data we generate every day. It's massive, and it's getting more and more massive every single day. And as we have that data, we can either make sense of it and ride that wave of big data, like a surfer would ride a wave, or we can get crushed by it. And companies that are able to ride that wave of big data are successful. And ones that struggle with data tend to not be successful. So think of an example of how data can disrupt an entire industry. This is a screenshot of Waze. Waze is a GPS app that allows you to get directions from point to point, right? Imagine if you're a map maker. Things like this completely disrupted your business, and it's all based on data, access to information. Now, Waze works because it's real time. It would not work if there was a 5-minute delay. You have to have real-time information on traffic patterns, on police activity, on construction projects, on weather reports, all rolled together into one app that's real-time, that can be personalized to allow you to have directions from point A to point B that can change as conditions change in real time. The amount of data that goes into this app is amazing. And you think about everything we do every day that is data-driven. So you should also think about what do you do in your organization, in your business that's data-driven? And how can you do something like this? Because if you're not thinking about how to use data like Waze does, you may end up being like the map maker. So real quick, just so most of you have a quick idea of what analytics is really about. It's so complex because it's made up of 5 V's. It's not just the size of data. It's also how fast we get data and how fast we process it, the velocity. It's the values that are encompassed in data. Data is not just numbers. It's all kinds of things. It's videos, it's images, it's anything that can be used to gather information to understand patterns in that data. It's also, veracity. Is the data real? We live in a world of fake news, right? So we have to always make sure that our data is accurate. And then also the 5th V is, and I was joking with Jessica, I could do this in my sleep without the slides. So now I have to, right? So, and so the 5th V, the 5th V is variety, different types of data. So we have to figure out how to manage not just the size of the data, but how fast we use it and what we do with it in ways that's much more complex than most of us probably think about. That's why analytics has become what's called data science, which is a practice or a discipline around using data to be able to drive businesses. And when you look at businesses that are on the cutting edge of any industry, they're incredibly data-driven. Amazon would not be Amazon without knowing everything about you as their customer. And they're able to do things to help target that to you. Same with, say, like Netflix. Netflix looks at millions and millions of rows of data to suggest in your queue what you would want to watch. And so this is how businesses that are on the cutting edge are using data. And it's not just big businesses. Small businesses can be very successful with data as well. And that's what I want to be able to do. I'm looking to bring my training to businesses in North Central Florida. Not just Ocala. This is where I live. because I moved here because I like Ocala. My mom's from Denoan, so I've been coming to the area a long time, although I grew up in California. I've always considered Florida to be somewhere I want to be. So I want to be able to work with businesses not just in Ocala, but in Orlando and in Tampa and Jacksonville, so that I'm able to really get out there into the community and find clients. My ideal client is a medium-sized business, a business that has plenty of data, but it hasn't been able to figure out how to really optimize that data. I can work with small businesses if they're very tech savvy and very data driven. If they have data and they're constantly using Excel or other database applications to manage their data, they want to do reporting. We have things called business intelligence applications, build things called business dashboards. If I had more time, I'd go into it, but these are the products and services that analysts can provide. So that's pretty much my presentation. I do have a couple events coming up I wanted to share with you. I'm going to be doing a free Google Docs training, a half-day training coming in June. I believe it's on the 19th of June. It's be here from noon to 4 o'clock. And we'll have lunch involved, and we're going to talk about how to optimize the data in Google Docs. A lot of small businesses rely on Google Docs to be able to share information with their workers and then their business. I also have an internship program that I'm launching. So anybody looking for interns, I'd be happy to talk to any intern who wants to learn about how to use data. Being an analyst or a data scientist is a very lucrative field. Data scientists command six-figure salaries. If you look right now in Tampa, Orlando, or Jacksonville, and you type in data scientist into a job search engine, you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs that are very well paying. People that are data scientists tend to be tech savvy, have computer backgrounds, although I don't. I have a master's in history and education, so I was supposed to be a teacher, but I learned how to use Excel, and that took me a different direction. So that's my company, my presentation. Thank you for your time. I'll be happy to answer any questions.